Shove nose manual. Please don't let there be a hill. What is going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Ninja Review. Today we are reviewing Hockey 4 on the FA YouTube channel. A link to this video will be in the description below. Several of you guys recommended that I review this video, and as I was skimming through the end looking for a thumbnail, I think I know why. There was a lot of rolling down a hill, but since this is a longer video, we will start at the beginning and then skip the middle and then go to the end, because the beginning is usually a really good part, the middle is filler, the ending is the grand finale. Starting off with an ollie, kick flip over the chain link fence, starting off with a bang. I think the best example of having a really good first part and a really boring middle would be almost round 3. We get a fake ollie into the street. We got a handrail nose slide through the kink. It might have even curved. Speaking of curved, what an extremely curved handrail. The quality here looks a little bit weird. Everything has a ghost effect, or maybe a resample, which makes the footage look old. Maybe that's on purpose. Barely hanging on to the nose slide nollie flip, nose blunt nollie flip in, landing that one perfect. I guess that was worthy of redoing. Nose blunt all the way around the U-turn. I appreciate the action. Tail slide into the switch crook, continues turning. Maybe a heel on the ground, probably not. It looks like California is on fire. Back tail pops out. Switch frontside flip into a manual. I feel like that would have probably looked better long lens, but it's in a line, holding on to the steep left turn off of the nollie flip manual. Heel flip, falling off the roof. Not good enough to go back and redo the trick. I see. It was probably too hard. Now we're just rolling off a roof. A handrail that looks like no one would ever want to skate it. The action is really good. 180 nose grind. What was that? Just a shove? I'm not really sure. Back to this handrail. Since the video is so long, I have a harder time rewinding. So yeah, it was just 180 nose grind, front shove, back grind, laser flip, feet hanging all the way off the board, but still pretty cool trick. Front, tail, 270 heel flip, worthy of showing twice, lands on the skate stoppers for extra style. Barely gets the shove. Not really sure what happened there. Maybe like a nose manual big spin kick flip across the dirt. Filmed twice. This filmer wasn't really sure what was going on. Front blunt kick flip. That is definitely worthy of checking out. It looked a little bit suspicious because maybe the heels were on the ground, and they were. That looks like it's gonna be another violation. And they even showed it twice because they have no shame at all. That is a heel on the ground violation. All right, tiny little blunt slide pops out on a spot that no one else would ever skate. Gap to back grind. We got wall ride into the 50-50. I really can respect those tricks because there's a lot of things that can go wrong when you're trying to wall. Oh no! Just like right there, there's a lot that can go wrong. He's not good enough at rolling down a hill. Hand on the wall, squatting awkwardly, tic-tacking, bouncing off of the fence. That's very impressive. Use the fence as a springboard. Really difficult trick there. I am making a lot of jokes, but some of the tricks in this part already are super impressive. Right there, again, so much can go wrong on the back grind to pop out. We got some manuals right here. Manual backside flip, nose slides up. Nollie flip, nose slide into what I thought was going to be a manual. It was into kind of like a firecracker there. Not bad, no complaint. Gapping, blasting out of the back tail, and I would say roll on grind. A roll on grind into a fall into the ground. A lot of impressive tricks. Back tail kick flip. Right here we get 270 flip, and I think I saw a heel on the ground. Yet another violation. Tell me in a comment if I missed any other violations, because there was a few that I thought I saw earlier, but they weren't really worthy of rewinding. Very nice tray flip right there. Getting ready for the back tail. Big flip. Heels hanging off, but I think he got that one clean. It doesn't really matter because if he would have gotten it sloppy, he would have just kept it anyways. Like a lot of modern pro skaters. Pretty good part to start with. Let's go ahead and skip to the 25-minute mark. We got a guy flying through the air. I keep mentioning the action. Even if you're gonna have tricks that I personally don't care for, if you have a bunch of action, tiny ollie into a tiny little curb wally, the action can save the video. Tiny little curb grind, nose manual. That was the trick? Just a curb nose manual? That was actually the trick? What is this gonna be? 180, see, that's actually really difficult. Back 180 into the switch manual. And then he films the even harder version and 180s out without getting flung off the board. If you can picture your hips getting off balance right there going that fast, you will completely teeter-totter over into a huge slam. We get a little 180, filmers holding on, had to film behind the back. We got the maze section of the cornfield. We're just rolling for a while. Back tail, that cannot be the end of the line. What are we gonna get to actually make this worthy of filming? Maybe a real trick? Ollie 3, pretty good, I guess, if you're just cruising a skate park. Kickflip manual. Filmer's doing an actually good job considering he's filming behind his back. If the filmer can roll down the hill, then it wasn't worth filming. Okay? If the filmer can film you behind his back while rolling down the hill, then trust me, the trick you're doing's not that hard. Nose grind, pop out with the nice speed. We get really a T-Funk style video part. We're gonna get curbs, and as soon as I say all the tricks are easy, the comments are gonna say, well, he's going fast. Oh, okay, I guess that changes everything. We get an ollie, we get an ollie, we get an ollie, and now we're rolling down a hill. We get a switch ollie. Are we gonna get another ollie? Go ahead, surprise us. Switch front shove with all the people in the way. Switch flip, filmer got really shaky and terrible right there. Nollie heel flip, nicely done. Rolling down a hill, and he can't even pull it off. Now we get, of course, 180, rolling down a hill. The video's gotten very repetitive. Now it's getting boring. That was a bird. Now we have skateboarding artwork. Now we're doing nothing. Now we're rolling down the hill. We're probably gonna barely just do an ollie or a manual or something boring. Varial heel flip. I have to eat my words on that one. Very impressive right there. They tried to make the ride up part of the trick. You could have just went to that gap, brought the fisheye, and just done a really cool varial heel instead of kind of trying to make it seem harder than it is, right? I mean, if you want to make things seem harder than they are, just start doing this when you land. Just start doing feminine hands. All right, we got the back 5-0 stalls. Doesn't let the tail touch. Pops all the way back in. We get a handrail. Absolutely not. We're rolling down a hill. Switch ollie. Rolling down a hill. How many times can you make rolling into a trick a roll-on grind? As I say that, skids for the kids. Now we're just rolling down a hill again. And now we're nollying, and we're just rolling down a hill again. 180. Now we're just rolling down a hill again. Finally, a decent skateboarding trick. Now what? Please, God, don't let it be a manual to rolling down a hill. Although I can respect that. Very cool manual and filmed very good. Nose manual. Now we're rolling down a hill. Is anyone else getting bored? Front shove. Rolling down a hill. You guys can't claim that I'm making this up anymore. This is the whole video part. Switch, what are we gonna do? Switch front shove, no hill. I'm surprised. But we just got a glorified curb trick right there. Handrail, did not expect that. Didn't expect to get an actual difficult trick in this. Another handrail. He saved the bangers for the end. I guess that's maybe why all the rolling down the hill was in the middle of the video part, because the filmers, the editors, and the skaters know that it's the most boring, shitty part of the whole video. And what do we get next? An ollie, roll down a hill. And now we film the roll down a hill. Now we slow-mo the ollie. I guess this is modern skateboarding. It's going backwards. All right? Skateboarding used to progress. Now it's degressing. It's getting worse. Shove nose manual. Please don't let there be a hill. Of course there is another hill, guaranteed. Yep, does the little fake wall ride, rolls down a hill. And then we're filming a lot of roll away. Tray flip, rolling down a hill. This is the kind of spot that you go to if you're just barely learning how to skate. And I think that the people that are impressed by this style of skating are the people who are barely learning how to skate. Those are the only people who would defend low effort, low skilled skateboarding tricks like this. What I mentioned earlier about the blurry ghosting, you can kind of see it here. Each frame kind of looks like two frames. Maybe that was a compression problem, or maybe they just wanted the video to look old. That being said, if this video came out in the 90s, it would probably still be kind of unimpressive. Maybe the middle of the video was good, or maybe this guy is just the OG of the team and he just turned 45 and this is kind of like the retirement part. I mean, we've seen that in the past with Jeff Rowley. I think his last big part was almost every trick, like a flat ground trick and then rolling down a bank next to a river. And I'm not saying that that's not impressive or it wouldn't be inspiring, especially to someone getting old like me. But for the final trick of a video, you think kids are watching this and praising this? Or do you think maybe they're watching it and being like, oh, turns out being a pro skater is actually a lot closer than I thought. It won't take me several years. All I have to do is learn how to tray flip and roll down a hill and I can get the final part in the hockey video? I feel like maybe that's the new motivation for these modern skate videos. They want to dumb down the skill level, bring the ceiling really low so that skaters think everything is attainable. Because a lot of the new generation, when they see skaters doing shit that looks impossible, they get sad and they go, well, I'll never do that. That would take too much hard work. I can barely even muster up the strength to learn how to skate switch. Wah. But then when you show that same kid a video like this, they go, ooh, I can almost do that now. I've only been skating for a month and I can almost do that. Yay! Yay! Now, of course, for the sake of entertainment, I'm being super dramatic and I'm exaggerating, but there's gotta be a little bit of truth to everything I just said. And you can't deny the logic. If you would like to watch this video on your own time, a link will be in the description below. I would give this video an 8.8 out of 10. Based on what I watched, it definitely had action, but I would say that it very much lacked variety. And maybe if I wanted to see the manuals and the ledges and the flip-ins and the flip-outs and the rails and the unique spots and the switch tricks and the gaps, maybe all that happens in the middle of the video. But at the end, we pretty much got the same thing. Almost every single trick. Let me know your thoughts in a comment below. Let me know if I missed anything in this video, because I'm sure that I missed a lot of violations, and let me know if you agree with my score of 8.8. I upload a video on this channel every single day, so I will see you guys tomorrow with another video. Kuna Matata.